Hi everyone, this is Sarah. In this Rover Pet Sitter review video, I'm blowing the lid off and I'm sharing everything I've learned from being a Rover sitter over the last 3 years. I'm putting my top 10 tips for cat sitting at the end of this video, along with all my best tips for how to create your best pet sitting profile so that you can actually get clients for dog sitting or cat sitting or both. Yay! So if you love dogs or cats or both and would love to earn extra income doing fun work in this gig economy, keep watching to learn how to be a successful pet sitter with the Rover app and the Rover.com website, which is like Airbnb for pets. Anyway, I've been doing dog sitting from home as a side hustle with Rover.com for over 3 years so far, and I love it. By the way, you can do cat sitting as well, like I did. Home visits when I first started. Since this is my updated Rover review, and I'll link to my other videos underneath in the description box and my whole pet sitting playlist, I'll start with what I love about dog sitting and cat sitting for Rover. And I'll share the cons and mistakes I've made, and then some brand new tips for becoming a dog walker or dog sitter, etc., or cat sitter. So because of Rover, I've met some of my best dog and cat friends, besides my own dog, of course. And actually, I started pet sitting because my dog Ziggy passed away about a little over 3 years ago, and I really wanted another dog, but my husband Chad wasn't ready, and he said, no, it has to be when we're both ready. So instead of getting another dog or a rabbit, I decided to pet sit, and now at least most of the time, I'd say about half the time, there's about 2 little dogs at our house. So it's been amazing. And Chad loves it when we pet sit too, and he helps me out. I really consider myself a part-time dog nanny or freelance dog nanny for little dogs. Although if you want to, you can choose to do this full-time too, if you like. There's definitely plenty of opportunities. So while I think it's a bit disrespectful to my clients to share my Rover income or to discuss how much money I make, I will share what I've been able to do because of Rover. Because of Rover, I've been able to go on girls' weekend trips, like for both of my really good friends' bachelorette parties, and pay for all my own entertainment and all that. So going on trips, taking courses I've wanted to take, buying pretty much any book or tarot deck, art supplies, stuff like that I want. And also I'm saving for my retirement while doing part-time work from home on an extremely flexible schedule. So if you're looking for a summer job or how to make money in college while setting your own schedule, dog sitting or cat sitting is really ideal. By the way, you can do this as long as you're 18 and over. So seniors, this is for you too if you're interested. And because I don't pet sit all the time, I was able to build another really fun side business too. So I'm also an artist and a tarot reader in Asheville. But because of Rover, I've been able to hang out with dogs and pursue my other interests. It's really a win-win. So is Rover still legit after all these years? Yes, Rover is still booming. It's still relevant 3 years later. And I consider dog sitting one of the more creative jobs I've ever had. By the way, like I said, you can do this for cats too. I'm just gonna say dog sitting because that's what I do most of. By the way, the great thing about Rover is that they are literally paying to advertise you and other Rover sitters to get you clients. So you don't have to build your own website unless if you want to. You don't have to post on Facebook all the time. You don't have to market yourself. Really, people will come to you. And that is why Rover does take a percentage of your Rover earnings. And I'll talk more about that in a little bit. Of course, it's up to you to make sure your profile stands out so that you can get booking requests, and I will show you exactly how to do that also later in the video. So I'm going to share a lot of key tips now while I give you a behind the scenes look at how to set up your pet sitter profile, and then I'll share the cons of working for Rover as well. Okay, so I am sharing my screen. Obviously, I am already a pet sitter, so I can't tell you how to join from scratch, but I will put my Rover affiliate link in the description box underneath the video. By the way, you just heard Yoshi sigh in the background. I'm dog sitting him this week. Anyway, so I'm going to show you what kinds of things that you could do once you decide to join Rover. By the way, there is a background check that you will need to pay for. I believe it's like $30, and of course it's well worth it. I've seen a lot of Rover haters who are like, I'm not paying $30 to get a job or to get a background check. Well, I've been pet sitting for 3 years, and I know a lot of other people who've been pet sitting, and that $30 will pay for itself within the first month. So don't be a cheap ass. So first I'm going to go to services. Obviously, this is already filled out for mine, but you can do dog boarding, which means that your client's pets come to your home and spend the night. It's like a sleepover. And it'll show you here, like with dog boarding, you can earn up to 2 times more. You can get your first booking sooner. And this is because it's a more popular service. I guess more people go on vacation versus people who just want somebody who is going to babysit their dog for the day. Sorry, dog sit or cat sit. And you can make more money on the weekends, Thursday through Sunday. Also, what I love about this is you can set what's called away mode, and that means that Rover will hide your profile from search results for any of the services here. Now, I have mine set up for repeat clients only because I am in the middle of moving to a new house. So Yoshi is here because he's already been to my house a couple times and he knows the drill. But if it was a new dog, they would probably be really nervous and be like, okay, what the heck is going on? So another service that you can do on Rover is house sitting. And this is where you go to the person's house and you stay overnight and you take care of their dogs or cats or whatever animals they have. And sometimes you get the mail. Now, I have never done this, and this is because, like, I'm a total homebody, and I don't really get that much sleep in my own bed. I kind of have insomnia, and I don't want to go to other people's houses because I feel like, for me, it's a safety issue, you know. But I'm really an introvert, too, and I like being at home, so that's why I don't do house sitting. But I know a lot of people that do. And if you are a traveler or you are a transition, like this is totally an option. Now, drop-in visits, I have these in active right now. Like I said, I'm moving. But when I first joined Rover, I used to take care of cats that lived in the neighborhood. And I only take care of my friends' cats now because, like I said, like I'm pretty busy with dog sitting at home. And I don't want to be driving all over the place doing drop-in visits. But for like the first year on Rover, I definitely did drop-in visits. And you do you. You can do only drop-in visits if you want to exclusively be a cat sitter. And like make sure you put all pictures of cats on your profile and be like, hey, exclusive care for cats. Like that's my #1 cat sitting tip, by the way. I'll sprinkle that in here if you are into or wanting to be a cat sitter. So yeah, you don't have to do all of these. You can pick and choose exactly what you want to do here. With drop-in visits, you do a 30-minute visit to feed and play with the pet. And you need the Rover app for that. Of course, the Rover app is free to download. Doggy daycare is where a client's pet stays at your home during the day, like if they're at work or something. And it's usually for 8 hours. I used to do this for a puppy named Tio, and she was so cute. But she was a little handful, and it was just too much for me. I loved her, but, I had to say, like, she wasn't the best fit. So that's another tip, too. Like, if the dog or cat is not a good fit for you, you have to really be honest about it, and people will appreciate your honesty. And if they don't appreciate you being honest, then those people are not a good fit for you anyway. So like I said, you can do away mode or set it for repeat clients only. And dog walking, I used to do that at first. So if you want to know how to become a dog walker, a professional dog walker, you can only do dog walking too if you like, which is where you go to the client's house and walk the dog for 30 minutes. I used to do that, but like I said, I want to be at home most of the time. So these are services, and then you can set your rates. So I've been doing this for 3 years, so you might think my rates are a little high. You might think my rates are too low, but for where I live, this is pretty competitive. So you set your rates here, and then they offer additional rates too, like you can charge more for a holiday. You can add more for additional dogs. You can do an extended stay rate, like give them a discount if they stay for a long time. For example, one of my dog clients, Daisy, stays for a month at a time because her dad, or her owner, Chris, goes on a long trip every year or every other year. So she stays for a month, and she's such a good dog. You can charge more for puppies. You can charge to bathe or groom the dog, which I usually just do that if they want me to. Pick up and drop off rate. Usually I'll meet my clients halfway if they're existing clients, but you do you. Also cat care rate. I have this blank for now because, like I said, I only cat sit for my friends now, but you can charge a special cat care rate and an additional cat rate, which means if they have 2 cats, you can charge more. So these are the rates. I'm just going to click save and continue because I think I made some changes. Oops. Service options. Now it asks you how many spaces do you have available each day. Like, here's another tip, guys. Please don't say that you're gonna have like 20 dogs at your house, because it's just going to be chaos. Unless if you are like a professional dog boarding facility with like staff and everything, just don't do it. Start off small. Like, so 2 is my limit, and occasionally I will have 3 if like they're like only going to be together for a day. Like Tilly and Stella, which Stella passed away recently, but they were fine. Like, they're like one of my best dog clients. But Daisy was over, like, and Daisy was going to go home in the afternoon. So I was like, okay, they can all hang out together. So it asks you, are you home full time during the week? I am. Most people aren't. So, it's not a deal breaker. I think it depends on the dog's needs. It asks you, when hosting dogs in your home, how often you will take them outside to go pee or poop. And I take them out pretty often. Do you want to enable flexible availability? What is your cancellation policy? So you can go here and read about each one. I don't want to waste a lot of your time with this, but it'll tell you about each cancellation policy. And then for pet preferences, this, guys, is super important. I probably should have recorded this part first. So I say that I will only pet sit small dogs. You can watch giant dogs. You can watch whatever kind of dogs you want. You can also only host cats, which means cats come to your house. I don't, because I don't want cats peeing in my house. I do love my friends' cats, though, so I'm not a cat hater or anything. Do you want to watch puppies? Do you plan to host dogs from different families at the same time? Most of the time for me, it's no. And you can even add more preferences. So Rover is really flexible. I will say, though, the one con with Rover, and it's not Rover's fault, is that some clients will not read your profile, and that does, so like if I say, oh, I'm going to do dog walking and it has to be within a 10-mile radius, people from 3 hours away can still contact you. And I didn't realize that when I was on Rover for my first year, and somebody booked me for dog walking, and I was all exciting until I was like, oh crap, they live like 2 hours away. And then so I did the first home visit, and then I realized, I was like, holy cow, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you were so far. I didn't realize that you were still able to contact me. So, it wasn't that big of a deal because she understood, and, we were able to cancel it. But just make sure people, even though you specify you only watch small dogs or cats, other people will try to contact you, and it's up to you to say no. So, also, there's a tab for your calendar, which you can update. And here's another pro tip.
if you confirm your availability and update your calendar, Rover will boost you in search, which means that they will put you first above other pet sitters. So I will show you my profile. Where are you? And I'll show you a few things that you want to include. So make sure that you put a photo of you with a dog or you with a cat as your profile picture, because it's one thing to say, hey, I'm a pet sitter, or I'm a dog sitter, or I'm a cat sitter, but it's another thing to show it, like pictures, that saying, pictures speak 1,000 words or whatever. And, always take pictures of pets that you've pet sit for when they're over and send them to clients. Clients love it. But if you're brand new to pet sitting and you want to know how to get pictures, you can volunteer at a shelter and take pictures of shelter dogs with you. Like, go walk a shelter dog once a week for a month or two. And not only will the dogs love it and you'll feel good about it, you'll get pictures and you'll get experience. And also you can say, hey, I volunteer at the dog shelter. So your Rover profile, it looks like Instagram, actually. It shows your picture. It shows the amount of reviews you have. It shows your response rate. Here's another tip, guys, by the way. I've tried to hire Rover sitters myself, and sometimes I don't hear from them until like 3 days later. If you want to get bookings for this and you want to like be booked, make sure you respond to your customers or potential clients who are reaching out to you, because if someone doesn't respond to me within 3 days, I'm not going to want them to watch my pet. You know what I'm saying? And it will tell you the response time here. So it says hosting preferences, availability, and then it shows like all the reviews here. You can read more reviews. So like I said before, sometimes clients, they don't want to read this. Sometimes people are lazy. So what I do is I put all the important information here, and then they can read more if they want to. And then, of course, I want to know, you can put your skills, like I'm experienced at giving medication to dogs. I've had senior dogs. And then on your profile, it will tell you about where you live. So lives in a house, non-smoking, no kids here, has a fenced yard. It says has one dog. That's because I actually hired a pet sitter to come hang out with Yoshi tonight, so that me and Chad can go out for Halloween. Yoshi has epilepsy, and I told his owner, like, Bill knows that someone from Rover is coming here to hang out with Yoshi, and he's actually pretty happy about it. Because, like, also we're moving, so Yoshi is, I feel like I'm neglecting him. Like, he's sitting on my lap right now, but, so somebody is actually coming to hang out with Yoshi. That's why it says I have one dog, and it's Yoshi, but he's not my dog. But anyway, it also says like what my boundaries are. So when dogs are here, they're not allowed on the bed. Actually, most of them are. But I will say I only pet sit for my favorite clients. I have like 12 repeat clients, and they're like my dogs. Dogs are allowed on the furniture. Yoshi's favorite spot is the pillow on the couch. So, and it'll show the map, but I'm moving, so that's not relevant. So with the Rover guarantee here, they offer 24/7 support and reservation protection. And then at the bottom, it will show other pet sitters in the area, for example, if I was not available. And then, of course, here is, oops, I don't know where it went, but there was a contact button there. And then I will show you the inbox. So when somebody books you, let's see, archived request. When somebody books you, you will get okay. I'm trying not to show the message. You will get a message that looks like that. Let's go back. And then if it's not a good fit, you have to hit the archive button to archive it, and then it will go to archive requests. So, if someone's not a good fit, I'll just say, oh, thanks for contacting me. Sorry, your dog's not a good fit. So that's a little overview of the app that I just wanted to show you.
So that was the Rover website. Rover also has an app, and the app is how you are supposed to communicate with clients. Now, the one con with Rover is that they really forbid you from exchanging contact information with your clients. They really frown on it, and this is because they want to accept their commission, and they don't want you stealing clients, which I totally get. However, I give my clients emergency contact information. Like, they have Chad's number, they have my number, because if something happens to me, I want them to know that their dog's okay and they can reach Chad. Also, I get my clients emergency contacts because I've had people that are on a plane to some other country and I was locked out of their house and I was supposed to go in and feed their cat. Luckily, the good thing about Rover is that their insurance covered a locksmith to come and let me in so that I could give the cat water and food. So, yeah, it's a downside that they really frown on exchanging contact information. But the good thing is like, I've done this long enough to be like, all right, there have been some emergencies. I need a way to contact them. So when I do a meet and greet, I will ask them for an emergency contact that I can reach. Because you're watching other people's pets. You're not always going to be able to reach them. The good thing is that Rover does have a 24/7 emergency hotline. And like I mentioned before, I have used it and they answered right away and were able to help me. So I'm including the Rover app, but I can't show it to you because I'm filming with my phone. It's not super hard to use. However, I will say I've been using it for 3 years and I still have no idea how to send a Rover card or what the heck a Rover card is, but it hasn't, it hasn't affected my bookings at all. One other downside is that even if you go in and do not accept the booking, you won't be considered available for other clients on the days that someone requested you until you physically go in and hit the archive button for the request. So make sure that you archive any bookings that you don't want to accept. Otherwise, you're going to lose out on other booking requests for the same time period. And also, you don't have to worry because you're not going to get punished for declining bookings, but Rover will send you tons of dogs who are not a good fit for you. So it's up to you to use your discretion. And why they do that is because anybody can contact you on Rover. That doesn't mean they read your profile. And that's not Rover's fault. It's just dealing with people. Rover only gets paid when you do, so they really want to book you. So make sure you look at each request you get carefully before you accept. For example, just because I usually take care of Chihuahua-sized dogs doesn't mean that people with dogs the size of a bear can't contact me. So through the Rover app, like I said, that's how you are sending text messages or emails to clients. So guys, let's talk about the meet and greet. If you like this content, by the way, feel free to subscribe and hit the little bell notification and you'll see other videos like this in the near future. So during the meet and greet, here are some questions that you need to ask. And I think Rover has this somewhere on their website, but if not, you can pause the video and write these down. So you need to know the dog's age or cat's age, and you need to know if they have any medical conditions or if they're on medications. For example, Yoshi, the dog that's here, has epilepsy and he gets 2 pills 3 times a day. So you need to know the dog's typical routine, for example, or cats, what time they get up in the morning, when they go for walks, how much food they eat, if they're on a special diet. If they're on a special diet, obviously don't be giving them people food or table scraps, no matter how much they beg. You need to know whether the dog has ever been away from home before, because often this is when you will get the dogs that have real separation anxiety. You need to know, like I said before, if they're on flea or tick prevention. You need to know if they get along with other dogs, if they get along with cats, kids if you have kids, people. Because if you take the dog on a walk, maybe, let's say for example, like me, you don't have another pet at home, but you take the dog for a walk. to a public park. You need to know if you can let their dog sniff the other dogs or if you should keep them isolated. Not isolated, but, keep them away from each other. You need to know the dog's feeding schedule, how much they eat. Sorry, my husband's computer is right next to my phone and it's ringing like a phone. So you need to know if the dog is microchipped, and if so, get the microchip number, because guys, I've never had a dog escape to where I couldn't find them, but I've had someone else's dog show up in my backyard the day after we had to put Ziggy to sleep. Luckily, the dog had a microchip, and I was able to call and find out who the dog was, where they lived, and we dropped the dog off at their house. So microchips can help save a dog. So also you need to find out the pickup and drop off time. I know this sounds like a lot, but it's really not a lot once you get into the swing of things. And I will talk about the typical day or routine in the life of a pet sitter later in the video too. Like with Yoshi, most of the dogs are my repeat clients and they're used to coming over. We hang out and watch TV together. We go for WALKs together. I'm spelling it out because he's right here and I don't want him to get all excited. We eat. It's not hard most of the time. But if you do, sometimes what happens is the dog is really well behaved on the meet and greet. And then when they get to your house, they're a little monster. That has happened to me a couple of times before. And on those times, it was when I didn't follow my intuition. So your intuition is there to protect you. You also, like I said, you need to get an emergency contact person in case you can't reach the owners. And you need to get the dog's vet's name and vet phone number. So those are the questions to ask during the meet and greet. Like I said, I wrote some notes down. And this is right out of my Master Pet Sitting with Rover book. So if you've read the book, this is a little bit of a refresher. So now that we're almost to the end of the video, here's my top 10 cat sitting tips. So top 10 cat sitting tips. Do you want to exclusively be a cat sitter? Comment below, yes or no. Don't be afraid to niche down on Rover. In the computer screen share section, I walked through exactly how to set your profile to only watch cats or do home visits or cat boarding where they come to you. Tip number 2, figure out how far you're willing to drive for home visits and make sure you write that on your profile. Little bonus tip 2A or 2B is whenever somebody contacts you, map it out before you accept the booking. Tip 3, when you're visiting somebody else's home and they give you a house key, always, always, always test out the key before the owners leave. Guys, I've been locked out of someone's house when I was supposed to feed and care for their cat. Luckily, I was able to get in because of a locksmith and Rover's emergency hotline. So test the key, it's really important. You can see Yoshi trying to get on the couch in the background. Hi, Yoshi. All right, so tip number 4, if you want to let cats come to your house, you can say that in your profile as well. Even though you have it set there, it's always great to spell it out. This is a bonus and a benefit for people that don't want their cats home alone. Tip number 5, ask if the cat gets along with other pets or cats or children if you have them. That would suck, wouldn't it, if the cat scratched your kid all up? Tip number 6, put your Rover business cards at the cat vet or cat hospital. I've gotten some business by putting my Rover business cards at Ziggy's old vet office. He's not a cat, he's a dog. Tip number 7, always do a meet and greet, especially for cats. Some cats can be bitches, just like dogs. Tip number 8, ask what to do if the cat escapes from the owner's home. This is why it's good to have an emergency contact, because if the owners are on an airplane or in some other country, you need to know who to contact and know what to do if Fluffy escapes the house. So, another reason I'm saying that is because I pet sit for my friend's cat. I go over there and feed them when they go on trips. and Iago always tries to escape. Usually I catch him and grab him, and I guess he's like outdoorsy. They let him outside a lot. But I'm like, okay, what do I do if he really escapes? Like, do I just wait there for hours? Like, will he come back? But he knows me, so I'm not worried about it. But you will be meeting this cat that you're pet sitting for the first time, so it's really important to get that information. Cat sitting tip number 9, you can charge more for multiple cats because there's going to be multiple poops for you to scoop in that litter box. Tip number 10, put lots of cat pictures in your profile and make you and a cute cat your profile picture. It still has to look professional, obviously. Can't be some meme of grumpy cat. It has to be of you and a cat. But make sure you say, hey, exclusive care for cats, cat sitter extraordinaire, whatever. You know, make it clear that you only pet sit for cats if that's really what you want to do. So I'm going to give you a little outline to get started writing your pet sitting profile on Rover if you have writer's block. Like I said, I'll email this to you if you want to, or you can just pause the video. So first, what is your name? What is your experience with animals and pets? What is your home like? Do you live alone? Do you have a yard? What attractive thing do you live near? So I said a park, a vet, a restaurant for dogs. I live near Asheville, so that's actually a thing. Why should they hire you to pet sit for them? Where will the dogs or cats stay when they are with you? Or do you prefer to sleep at clients' homes? Do you smoke? Are you a homebody who spends a lot of time at home? Have you ever had pets? Will you send daily photos? After you write your answers to these questions, then you will have a cohesive and attractive profile. Thanks for watching. So I mentioned in the website screen share overview that you can volunteer to walk dogs at a shelter to get photos of them and also, you know, take care of happy dogs and get some experience, and that it would benefit you to say that you volunteer at a shelter. So another way that you can get really good photos of you with other people's pets is to take selfies with your friends' pets. For example, offer to go feed a cat when they go on vacation. That way you get experience, you get someone to write a review or a testimonial, etc. So in your profile, since we're talking about that, I might as well give you some more tips. You really need to spell out the benefits of people choosing you as a pet sitter. And a benefit shows people really what's in it for them. So I'm going to give you some examples of hidden benefits that you can write about in your Rover profile. For example, let's say you work from home or you only work part-time. This means that you will have plenty of time to spend with other people's pets. Then if you are a homebody like me and you love being home on the weekends, say it in your profile. Don't make people guess. So if you grew up with family pets, this counts as experience taking care of animals. If you're dependable and your friends rely on you to feed their cats when they're out of town, this is a huge plus. Yell it from the rooftops and get a testimonial from them while you're at it. And guys, if you have experience with training dogs, you definitely want to mention this because you can charge more for pet sitting if this is the case. If you live close to a vet and you have your own car, pet owners will have peace of mind knowing that if an emergency happens, you'll be able to take their owners to the vet. In my profile, I state that I live 2 miles from a trusted vet, which is true. Our vet took care of Ziggy, but I'm about to move, so I don't know where the new vet is. I will find that out so that I can update my Rover profile. Now, my point is, if I didn't mention this in my profile, potential clients would have no idea. I hope you all enjoyed those tips. If so, leave a comment, like the video. If you hated it, dislike it, unlike it, that's fine too. Thanks for watching either way.